inhabitants affected by all forms of difficulties and challenges and various forms of poverty indicators. We are looking at the issue of very weak economic base, very weak productive base, poor infrastructure, environmental challenges, proliferation of small arms across our borders, and also the new emerging security challenges. Beyond even the banditry and kidnapping, we also have a spike in urban crimes. Urban crime centers, Kaduna and Kano, we all know what is happening today. Cyber crimes, cultism, phone snatching, stabbing, drugs, and all other social businesses affecting these urban cities. This commission, therefore, has its job cut out for itself. But the question we want to ask is it ready to walk the talk? Is the commission ready to provide the needed change that we desire in this region? I think those are the questions that we should be looking for some answers from this interactive session. The purpose of budget defense, like we all know, is to bring about transparency, accountability, and inclusion in governance. So therefore, the MD, this is an opportunity for you to speak to the committee and tell us your plans, what you have done, what are your challenges, and what are the initiatives you are bringing on board to address these difficulties I have earlier mentioned. Here is a joint session, so therefore what we are going to be discussing here affects both chambers of the House. It's a bicameral legislature, so therefore every act of one arm of the legislature must be endorsed and supported by the other arm. I'm happy to mention that we have a very good and wonderful working relationship with my co-chair from the House, Engineer Suleiman Abubakar Gumi. I can't ask for more. So also the fact that we have been open and transparent in our dealings. In 2025, the budget was never implemented for many reasons. We'll hear that from you. Now we are hoping that 2026 will provide the needed opportunity for the benefit and the expected gains from the center to cascade down to the subnationals. I thank you so much for coming, and I welcome you and hope for a productive and vibrant exchange of ideas and exchange of issues between the Commission and the committee. Thank you very much and good afternoon.
Despite the fact that there was a very important VIP in Kaduna, the amount of crowd, attendance, and purpose for the conference in Kaduna is unprecedented. I believe that such dialogue are what will make us to be on focus. Whatever the agitations and thinking of us towards this young commission, I think you did excellently well. And I believe that other commissions are watching what will happen. So I want to congratulate you on that. The second part is I want to talk to my brother. We're here for appropriation. Whether it is executed or not executed, it must be done right. So the thinking of the fact that why is somebody bigger than somebody is a good question. It's a good question. Because even if there will be release or no release, we want equity. So maybe if there is any typographical error in what was given, because I see 140, 140, 140, and I see 200 plus. Maybe there's a typing error. We need to check. Maybe we are all 200 plus and they made a mistake. We need to check. If they don't make a mistake, we should ask, why are some people twice some people? I think we're here for those ones. So whatever he said was appropriate. Thank you so much.
It's all the same.
Mr. Chairman, the co-chair, my colleagues, distinguished senators, and also honorable members of the House of Representatives. We have seen the presentation of the budget of 2025 and also the proposal of the 2026 budget. The MD, you said 145,606,921,550 naira were appropriated. And to date, you have not received anything. Does it mean that even 30% promised by the federal government has not been released to the commission? So you have rolled over the entire budget of 2025 in 2026. But you're not supposed to do that, because all agencies of government have been told that only 30% of what was appropriated in 2025 will be released. And they can roll over the remaining 70% into 2026. So if you roll over the entire amount, I think it's wrong. You may have to correct it, because we have been told that 30% of the capital projects will be released to all MDAs. Secondly, you have not received anything. Then how do you incur expenditure? You say despite the fact that you have not received anything, but you have achieved some milestone. Personnel cost, overhead cost, I don't know. Did you borrow money to do all this? Since you have not released anything, you have not gotten anything. Have you borrowed money from the bank or from other sources?
Other sources, sir, just for logistics and management of the office.
Okay.
That is what has been
Yes.
a liability.
Yeah.
2025.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, the co-chair, my distinguished and honorable colleagues, the Northwest Development Commission, as you rightly pointed out, is supposed to be an interventionist agency. It's supposed to complement whatever is happening within the region, assist the federal government and also assist the state government to close the development deficit. But if no release of funds is made, certainly there is a lot to be desired. Then we really have to do quite a lot. And this requires very serious legislative intervention. Even though it is very common to all MDHs, but the Northwest Development Commission has a unique position because it is the region that is most devastated, the region that is most backward. All indices of development are low in the Northwest. Even the Northeast, believe me, is better than Northwest. This is the stark reality, and we have to admit it. So those of us that are in the region, we have to do all we can to get the federal government to give priority attention to this commission. I could remember what we did on Northeast Development Commission. We passed that bill and we followed it with a lot of pressure, and that yielded a lot of result. Money was released, and we saw quite a number of projects coming up in the Northeast. All the 6 states in the Northeast are now benefiting from the establishment of Northeast Development Commission. So the same thing should be done, Mr. Chairman and the co-chair and the college, honorable colleagues, in the Northwest. We cannot hold our arms and see this zone to continue to go down. In terms of even drug addiction among the youth and even women, we are most affected. Educationally, we are the most backward. Health indices are very, very low in the Northwest. So, despite the fact that our governors are trying, but the gap is so wide when you compare it with other zones. So, Mr. Chairman, time is now right for us to mount serious pressure for the release of funds to the Northwest Development Commission. Thank you.
For this entity. As you are aware, there are a lot of unemployment in this country. And if this is going to start running, we want to be assured when will the recruitment of staff to fill the vacancies that are created be done. We want to know, sir. Secondly, sir, I think there is a fundamental omission, sir. Kebbi State takes more than 50% of River Niger. We have a lot of accidents in that corridor of water. And I've not seen any provision for safety. You have had so many incidences of not securities. Yeah. So we want to be sure that in this your proposal, sir, there is provision for securing the waterways for which millions of people travel on that axis. Thank you very much, sir.
Please, sir.
Then I will want to align myself with what Mgbeke said on the issue of recruitment. There is no way we can start to do anything on this important agency without the recruitment aspect of it. And nothing has been done on the issue of recruitment. We don't even know who is the clerical officer that typed this document for you people. So please, it is an issue that we should take so serious, just not only to reduce the unemployment in the market, but also to make sure that, yes, this thing is real and it's going to happen. Thank you.
Yeah. Make your presentation, and then we take responses from the members. So you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Chairman, Co-Chair, House of Rep, Committee on Northwest Development Commission, my other respected distinguished senators, right honorable members of the House of Representatives, other members present here, I want to say thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to make this presentation, sir. With me here is the FDI, Director of Finance of the Northwest Development Commission, Amalan Umar. Then next to him is Barrister Adu Muhammad, Legal Advisor to the Commission. Then the Malan Suleiman, a Technical Advisor, and others are part of the supporting team. Thank you very much, sir. Fully understanding your commitments and your engagement in the activities of the oversight of the National Assembly, which I know a lot of committees are there waiting for you. The chairman, sir, permit me to speak to the presentation so that I will reduce the time that will be taken. By introduction, sir, this submission is presented for the 2025 budget performance and 26 budget defense exercise of the Northwest Development Commission. It outlines the performance of the 2025 budget with particular reference to the status of release and present the budget framework being defended for the 2026 fiscal year. In line with the directive of the federal government, the 2025 appropriation framework, which no fund was made available, is being validated and presented as 2026 budget for the Commission, subject to legislative consideration and approval. The chairman, sir, as you are aware, the 2025 appropriation was 145,606,921,5 550 naira. This was appropriated in 2025. But the situation, as the fiscal context and budget status was no release was made, so it was a zero budget for 2025. Despite the challenge of the non-release, we still have made some effort to achieve some milestone. Institutional actions undertaken despite no release.
Members who have just come in, please, they will introduce us.
To sincerely appreciate the effort of the co-chair in managing the situation of the Northwest Development Commission, as you rightly said. The overview of this budget depended by the MD. We in the Northwest Development Commission, we want to ensure that security should be our first priority for the development of this region, because without security, all the comparative advantage of the region is meaningless. So we are glad that in your budget presentation and the submission you made, you are focusing as a priority. The security is first and foremost, and we'll take leverage of our untapped solid minerals in the region, which can be utilized to be for export and for a better development of the region. And we sincerely appreciate the effort of the co-chair, because I know how they are struggling to make this committee work. And I urge the chair and the leadership of the National Assembly will work to ensure that you have the executives director, so that you can start work in earnest, and also to have a special release as part of the take-off grant for this committee, so that it will, this commission, so that it will work. Mr. Chairman, this is my submission.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, distinguished Senator Adamu Aleru, His Excellency, and former governor of Kebbi State, and also one of the most respected voice in the Senate. Let me just use this opportunity to lay bare some facts. And it is for the benefit of the members and also the audiences that are here. All of the facts he mentioned are the reality of life in the Northwest region. And it is true, Northwest is far better stabilized, in fact, economically in all human development indexes in the Northwest. But let me just say that the opportunity that was presented for during the Kaduna Summit was to begin to put in place mechanism for generating ideas, putting pressure on the government to see to the need to release funds and to even do more in terms of encouraging the Commission to do its work. Sadly, the representation was quite below our expectation, because in a region that houses the Dangotes, the Abdulsamad Rabiu, the Mangals and others, we can still do more in terms of even leveraging on internal resources to drive development in our region. And I think the distinguished senator couldn't have said it more. We have a lot to do. It is a sad reality that the money that was raised to finance the summit in Kaduna was actually a donation by a well-meaning member of the Northwest. We had to go cap in hand, beg him, because it is part of the requirements of the law establishing the commission to develop a master plan. And you can't have a master plan without having a congregation of all the stakeholders bringing forth their thinking, their ideas, their inputs to come together to put it up. But we were happy with the outcome from the youth. The youth number of more than 3,000 to 4,000 in numbers registered, participated, made their contributions, and even during the technical sessions, their inputs were quite useful in drafting the draft technical report that is being awaited. So I think MD, distinguished members and colleagues, we have our job cut out for us, and it is our responsibility, even requiring legislative intervention, to come hard and make sure that we are able to generate the needed funding and the administrative structure, the institutional structure, to ensure that this commission works. Thank you very much, distinguished Senator Aleru, Your Excellency. We appreciate your contribution, but the work starts even from yesterday, not today. We will still have to continue working to deliver on our mandate. Thank you, sir.
On the Northwest Development Commission. Today's engagement reflects our constitutional mandate under Section 88 and 89 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which empowers the National Assembly to represent the people, enact laws for good governance, and exercise oversight public institutions, over public institutions. This session is particularly significant because we are considering the first budget proposal of the Northwest Development Commission. As such, our responsibility today is not only to scrutinize figures, but to ensure that the Commission is strategically positioned for effective takeoff. This budget marks the foundation upon which the Commission's long-term impact will be built. Our deliberations, therefore, should focus on the following areas: strategic vision and priority settings, where we will seek to understand the Commission's overarching development strategy for the Northwest region and how this maiden budget aligns with the statutory mandate. Institutional operational framework, where we would assess the administrative structures, systems, and processes being established to ensure the Commission can function efficiently from inception. Proposed programs for the first year budget, where we're reviewing the initial intervention the Commission intends to embark upon, including their feasibility, expected outcomes, and alignment with the region's most pressing needs, resource allocation, and budget justification, where we'll be evaluating how funds are distributed across sectors and programs to ensure that allocations reflect priority areas and deliver value for public resources. Collaboration with state government and other stakeholders, where we would examine the Commission's plans for partnership with state governments, traditional institutions, development partners, and other critical actors to ensure coordinated and sustainable development. Project impact and regional development, where we'll seek to understand the anticipated socio-economic outcomes of this first budget and how these interventions will begin addressing poverty, insecurity, unemployment, infrastructural deficit across the region. The Northwest region holds immense socio-economic potential. With its large population and vast agricultural resources, it has the capacity to become a major hub for food production and economic activities. Yet, the region continues to grapple with significant developmental challenges. The establishment of the Commission is therefore a crucial step towards addressing these issues, and as legislators, we remain committed to supporting its efforts. Let us work collectively to ensure this maiden budget sets a strong foundation for the Commission to achieve its objectives and deliver tangible improvements to the lives of our people. I look forward to a constructive and productive engagement for this advancement of the region. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. I think before the presentation, Chairman, you'll introduce your team first, and then you can now begin.
The issue of dredging, River Niger, and part of it, we are taking an initiative to partner with North Central, because part of it is North Central, but we're going to be also part of the beneficiary when it comes. So we are working on initiative, working with a partnership, funders that will come, so that at the end of the day, the intention of getting the infrastructure done will be achieved. It's part of our infrastructural development structure that we're looking at in collaboration between North Central and the Northwest. Thank you, sir. And the issue of youth, we are no more calling it youth empowerment now. We are calling it youth engagement. So we no longer provide empowerment packs, but we train youth on skill acquisition and where they can be engaged in economic activities in various sections of the environment. Thank you, sir. Establish of good governance and administrative structure. B, development of operational manuals, financial controls, and procurement system. Baseline assessment and need mapping, as well as strategic stakeholders engagement. Sir, the overview of the budget framework being defended, this is what we have achieved in 2025 with a lot of liabilities. But in 2026, sir, the overview is that in line with the federal government directive, the budget structure being defended to be defended in 2026 remain as follows. Table 1, the total amount allocation is 145 billion, out of which has been broken down into personnel cost of 5%, which represented 7,280,346,377,000.50 naira. Overhead cost 20%, capital expenditure 75%. The total is what made it to be 145,606,921,550, sir. The breakdown is as follows. The amount of capital expenditure was further broken down as follows. In line with the mandate of the Act, security was allocated 27%, infrastructure 14%, education 14%, health 11%, youth women engagement 11%, environment ecological problem 5%, agriculture 15%, mineral resources 3%. This is what gives the 75%, sir. Then strategic orientation that need to be achieved in 2026 budget, which was formerly the 2025. The validated budget is now positioned as a transition to delivery budget designed to move the Commission from institutional establishment to full-scale project execution across the Northwest. The budget framework aligns with the Northwest Development Commission Act 2024, the renewed hope agenda of the federal government, and the national priorities on security, food security, human capital development, and regional stabilization. Sir, the other priority areas as mentioned above is priority intervention, security and stabilization. The Commission intended to face a lot of priority in terms of security support infrastructure and equipment for security operations within these states, community-based security and early warning mechanisms, rehabilitation and resettlement of conflict-affected communities, IDPs. Second in priority is agriculture and food security, which intend to handle the issue of agricultural mechanization and support, provision of improved seeds, fertilizers, and agro-input, as well as targeted support for large, medium, and small-scale farmers with cooperatives. These interventions support food security, employment region, and rural stabilization, sir. Finally, second to the last, infrastructure, human capital, and social development will also be taken into consideration because it has a critical areas of infrastructure development, education and health intervention, youth and women empowerment program, environment and ecological remediation initiatives, legislative engagement and support. At this juncture, I want to appreciate the Joint Committee of NWDC of the National Assembly for their kind gesture for bringing out the Northwest Development Commission into the limelight against the issues of common saying that Northwest Development Commission is at sleep. The committee funded and supported the summit that has just concluded in Kaduna. The committee has done a special, remarkable support. Thank you very much, sir, for this effort. Finally, the summit has gathered a lot of influential people that presented a lot of observations, recommendations, and way forward. In conclusion, sir, one of the challenges that I'm still facing is the challenge of executive directors, which are yet to be appointed, so that I may not be working alone. I will have a full house in alignment with the Act. In conclusion, the budget being defended for 2026 represents a revalidated and implementary ready framework, developed in compliance with the federal government guidance and aligned with national and regional development priorities. Upon release of funds, the Commission stands fully prepared to deliver tangible and measurable development outcomes for the Northwest region. Thank you, the distinguished senators, the right honorable members, for giving me the opportunity to present this budget 2026. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.